Welcome to the GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS. And our opening round of the 2020 season comes from Italy's Adriatic coast, from the circuit Marco Simoncelli at MISANO, where bright, hot conditions greet our field of 22 cars, split between 6 manufacturers and 14 teams, all ready to do battle on this tight, twisty track to find out which pairing might be the most effective across not the regular 2, but 3 one-hour sprint races. Born from Black Falcon, the new Hout Racing team's dynamic pairing of Maro Engel and Lukas Stolz is really on scintillating form. And they've already scored 2 wins on the Nürburgring Nordschleife this year, so they start the event as favourites, as Stolz explains.
Imola was a busy weekend for us. I think we were not that bad. We were 6th in qualifying, but then it was a messy start, and then we got pushed out and got a drive-through. It was really a messy weekend, but the pace was there, the pace was in the car. So I'm hoping to be back on the podium this week.
There's just one Lexus RCF in the race at Misano, but Aurélien Panis, a second-year Lexus racer and of course a second-generation driver, is seeking glory in a full European campaign along with his fellow French racer Thomas Neubauer, who explains the scale of their challenge.
Well, actually it's not that easy going from single-seater to GT cars, but with such a great team as Tech One makes it really easier actually. So yeah, just feel really good in this team and in this category.
Long-time Ferrari test driver Andrea Bertolini is looking for the 5th year in succession to help Louis Michiels to shoot for glory in the Pro-Am class. And the Italian and Belgian pairing really fancy their chances in their fabulous-looking AF Corsa Ferrari 488 GT3, particularly here at Misano, as Michiels explains.
I'm so happy with the team of Amato Ferrari. It's a very good professional team. So we went last year for the 3rd time European champion, together with my very good friend Alberto. Andrea Bertolini and Nick Homerson. So let's hope we can do the same.
Chilean racer Benjamin Itez introduces a new nationality to the championship as he shoots for title honours in the silver class, and he has a rapid and capable teammate to support his title push in French ace Jim Pla.
Yeah, the team performs really well here at Misano. The car yesterday felt really good. We managed to do a good lap time, and that's good. So we hope we keep improving the car with the team. So that's the plan for today.
2018 World Lamborghini Super Trofeo champion Giacomo Altoe partners longtime GT racer Albert Costa out of the ML Fry Racing camp. And Italy's rising GT star is looking to spearhead Lamborghini's 2020 Sprint Series attack.
For sure it will not be easy, but yeah, it's my home race. I'm really looking forward to it with my team, Lamborghini, my teammates, so it looks everything good and everything ready for this race weekend.
Well, qualifying is over and the racing is upon us. This weekend treated not to 1, but 2, but 3 races, the first of which is this evening race at the circuit Marco Simoncelli for GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS. The stage is set perfectly. I'm Bruce Jones, and I have John Watson alongside me, looking on an evening in which the temperatures are kindly starting to drop, the humidity falling slightly, but it's still going to be about track position and, of course, tyre life. 22 cars in all, 16 turns on the circuit. This is turn 16. They're approaching now, 2 by 2, 11 rows of cars on the side away from the pit wall. That's the side that has pole position, the Lexus of Thomas Neubauer, waiting for the lights on the gantry to go. From red to green, a very quick flick, and who's read it best? Gounon seems to have a little bit more momentum down to the first corner. Can he put the nose of that green Bentley in front? Certainly Neubauer doesn't want him to do so. Job done for Gounon, because right hand goes to left hand. In the background, we've got one of the Audis running very wide indeed. Is that Tamita?
We've got 2 Audis in back, and you can see Gilles Gounon trying to come back. He's trying to go the long way around turn 3 up into turn 4. Side by side, virtually side by side into turn 4, then 5. Gounon gets shuffled out a little bit to the outside of the track, and that's the Thomas Neubauer. He is marginally ahead, so he has got the right to do that. Now out of turn 6, and look behind, cars coming through turn 6 all over the place. I think there might have been contact just at those back end of the field, saw one car shooting off to the right.
Yeah, doing the housework, it was Nicholas Scholl who ran right at turn 1. Somehow, though, those behind seemed to avoid it. And then at turn 3 and 4, we saw Giacomo Alto going a bit backwards, not backwards in style, but backwards in terms of position. But the grid order has been maintained at the front, with the exception of Lucas Stoltz forcing up about 4 positions in the HRT Mercedes. That's the orange one, but it's Neubauer and Alexis from Gunon who must have thought he managed to get through into the lead in the Bentley, but he's back in second place. Oh dear, car 52's gone for rotation, one of the 2 Ferraris, both in the Pro-Am class. Let's take a look at the replay of the start. Thomas Neubauer on pole position didn't seem to get the start as well done as Gunon. Gunon put the nose of the green Bentley in front. The next corner is a right-hander. He's got half the car length in front. At this point, I thought surely he'd taken the lead, but somehow Neubauer was quick enough into turn 3 as 2 cars behind, including Rougier's Audi, went wide.
A little bit of action up. That is what is that
change for third place. Why
Jimmy
Pla made it so easy?
He's made 2 cars. Well, Jimmy Pla is in reality not in that race. He is in a race for the Silver Cup. But why would he have given it up so easily unless there was a mistake coming out of turn 3 in the run into turn 4? You didn't have to ask Tomita or Charles Verch twice as to whether they want to get past. So Jimmy Pla's gone from 3rd down to 5th.
Look at a replay. He just went too deep into the corner, didn't he?
He went a bit deep. He got very wide. He got onto probably the rubber on the outside of the corner. Now, look, Bentley can't get any closer to the back of the Lexus. I mean, but where is the space? Where's he going to... I mean, the Bentley is a physically large car. The Lexus isn't exactly a shrinking violet. But again, Gunon almost running into the back of the Lexus coming into turn 14. Neubauer seemed to get slightly ruffled. I don't know why. Just looked as if he lost track position fractionally. Maybe that's the pressure coming down the straight on that last lap.
It could be. The toe surely has to work at some stage. And again, past the pits this time. Super tight underneath, but there isn't going to be the space up the inside into turn 1. But he's a racer driver, Jules Gunon. He's got to keep hinting that he's going to be making a move. And in fact, the move will probably come in one which he doesn't hint, just does it. Yeah, but he's running out of time. Right, the pit window is now open. It opened after the front runners went past, but anyone at the tail end of the field, the second half of the field, can dive in to make their one and only pit stop in this race if they want from now on. But for the race leaders, there was no intention to go in. They were just too early, come at what may. So let's run down the order. Thomas Neubauer leading from Jules Gunon. So you've got Lexus from Bentley, French driver and French team from French driver and French team. Then the 2 Belgian Audi Club Team WRT entries, Ryoichiro Tomita and Charles Weerts. Jim Pla had run 3rd, he's fallen back to 5th in one swoop. But Tommaso Mosca, what a great run for him, for the Attempto Audi team in 6th place. And the first of the pit visitors in there early on, Lucas Stoltz, very wise to it, HRT. He was just far enough back to be able to make that dive.
Yeah, the leader is in. So Neubauer has got in, releasing. Now, Gunon has got the opportunity for the next, 7.5 minutes to make hay while everybody else is doing their pit stops. He now needs to nail what he knows is the potential the Bentley's got and build sufficiently, because he's been stuck behind the Lexus for, the best part of 27 minutes.
Yeah, the thing was, as soon as you saw that, the rear shot looking at the start-finish straight, nobody in front of him. He's got no interruption. This is the golden hour for Jules Gunon. Now, how good is the pit stop going to be for the number 15? Lexus going to be taken over by Aurélien Panis, and he is going to be putting as much pressure. I said the track was clear, but unfortunately one of the SPS Mercedes, the Mad Panda Mercedes, has come out in front of. That's still out on the track. That's really unfortunate there for the race leader Jules Gunon. He doesn't want that car still there, but that car. Where are the flags on the outside? All the tenths of seconds that could be gained are being squandered right now for Gunon. He will be livid.
And that will play arguably to the strengths now of the Lexus making its way down pit lane. He's in the pits too. So a quick stop now. Maybe the best thing is to follow the race leader. Oh, whoa, that was a bit slippy coming in. Maybe this is where Bentley can take the lead of the race. But in my view, keep an eye on those 2 Audis behind.
Yeah, well, what we need to see, of course, is what the track is like in terms of traffic when the Lexus gets back out and gets back up to speed, because certainly Ezekiel Perez-Companc, or his car, the Mad Panda Motorsport Mercedes, did no favours at all there to Jules Gunon, who was out there to maximise his time, what he hoped to be a clear lap. Charles Weerts is in number 32. That's going to be handed over to Dries van Tor. They're a fantastic pairing. They really have been shining in recent years and won one of the 2 races here last year. And Charles walks away into the back of the garage. Lost a bit of ground at the start, unfortunately for him. Was one of the drivers who got shoved a little bit wide in the first 2 corners, but back onto terra firma and the other WRT crew get him away nice. So it's the turn of Aurelien Panis, but the fact is he's out behind and he's got, was that just dust going over the curves? I suddenly thought he had bodywork, but no, it's worked as you suggested it might do. The CMR crew have, despite being thwarted when Gounon tried to stay out for another lap, they've got him out ahead.
The Lexus is slowing down. Is that slowing down?
Well, maybe it is. It isn't just dust.
There's something coming from that's got a problem. Now, whether that was, he went over the grass coming out of turn 5 and kicked up a load of dirt behind. Suddenly, the car has slowed down, and that is. Look up at the back of turn 10. Maro Engel dives down the inside.
Welcome to European racing. Benjamin Itez finds that Maro Engel doesn't take no for an answer. That's unfortunate there, John. Yeah. Very spectacular, not what the doctor ordered.
No, and I mean, he's got the Audi all over him like up the inside, coming into turn 6, out of turn 16, into turn 16. So, why did you get impatient? Now, that was unnecessary, but there we go.
And that was Fred Verviche, and you really do not expect that from the driver of his experience, but Christopher Haas is hanging on.
Christopher Haas is the beneficiary of all this, because and Haas has had to cut inside the corner. He's gained an advantage. He's got to give that back up. You can't overtake like that and not give it back up.
John, you've just lost all of your money and all of my money. You would not bet on Verviche and Haas, 2 of the most experienced racers in Audi R8 LMSs, both making a mistake in no time at all. Is that Mercedes putting out some oil or something? Because both the cars behind had moments when they came up behind the 89 Mercedes.
Not seeing anything, but clearly Christopher Haas was the beneficiary. But then coming through turn 2, he decided to dive down the inside. There we see, well, very, very tippy-toe going into turn 8. And the Mercedes has got good straight line speed. I mean, whatever you say about his inexperience, Benjamin Heathers is not giving it away. Look, rubbing door handle, and up the inside.
Well, Matthias Drudy's gone wide, having gained a position. There he is, kicking up the dirt. That was slurring the whole way down the straight. Everyone behind's got a face full of dust, but Heathers is hanging on. He's having fun.
And up the inside. Oh, there we go. The inevitable happened. And
well, you had to feel for Heathers there because Verviche pulled across on him because Drudy had gone up the inside.
Who drove into the back of the Mercedes? I can't say he was wrong on-sighted. That was careless.
Drudy goes up the inside of Verviche, hits the curbs.
It was Drudy that hit the back of the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then that rotated. Look, there we go. As there you can see the damage to the front. So quite a substantial hit. So when this race goes green, which it's about to do as the cars exit out of turn 15, and you can see already Pancicici is up and running, but Dries van Thor has not let him get away.
Bit of a twitch through turn 15 from the race leader, Pancicici, and certainly in behind. Van Thor is getting very close indeed. He managed to gain a half car length there. Engel in 4th place, weaving around in the orange-black Mercedes.
But again, you can see the Bentley has just got that little bit of advantage over the Audi coming down to the turn. But look, Van Thor makes a lunge up the inside. Has a bit of a body rub. Now watch for Kelvin van der Linde. Thought he was going to come through as well, so didn't. I said it would have to happen on the opening lap after the safety car. Pancicici trying to come back. He's got his best chance, but up the inside, Kelvin van der Linde. So now the Mercedes likewise. So Bentley's been mugged. Plain and simple, it's been mugged.
Well, quite simply, what happened there was Dries van Thor thought, I'm GT through and through. You're a driver, Pancicici, who's been racing in sports prototypes. You're quick, but this is what we do in GT racing, up the inside. And it was inevitable that van der Linde would follow through because through the next few corners, particularly through turn 9, the Bentley was out wide and the second Audi went through and in behind. Christopher Haas getting a knock on the tail side by side, but unfortunately only half a car length back, and unfortunately for Haas, he's lost position there. Maro Engel hangs on, but Haas does not give up through turn 16, side by side with the Attempto car. I think that's Matthias Drudy, or is it Fred Verviche? He's not asking questions right now, he's trying to keep them behind.
Well, that's getting really rough, and that mid-group, got 4 or 5 Audis and the Lamborghini. So 55's got to back out of it. So that would be, is that Matthias
Drudy?
Yeah.
And behind, who's sensing place gain? Possibly, well, it'd be Rafa Marciello, of course. Let's take a look. That is a phenomenal move from the fastest of the Audi drivers at the moment. The driver who's got to the front of the race, Dries van Thor, just mugged Nelson Pancicici.
In Bruce, in fairness, the Bentley hung way out on the right-hand side of the racetrack. He almost sent an invitation through the post.
But he's now approaching turn 16 on this 16-turn track. Big battling in behind, but it looks though Engel is safe in 4th place. But for Team WRT, first and second places. Dries van Tor leading Kelvin van der Linde over the line, and importantly for Bentley, they at least achieve a third place. And don't forget, this is a customer team in the Bentley camp now. Charles Weerts did the starting stint, and Dries van Tor very much did the finishing stint. 8/10 of a second clear of their teammates. But to Ryuichiro Tomita, what a start for him in European racing, showing the car in second place with Kelvin van der Linde. Jules Gounon and Nelson Panciatici, what might have been if it hadn't had that safety car period. So let's go down and hear the thoughts of the winning duo, Charles Weerts and Dries van Tor.
Dries, that moment at the end there, really, you saw the opportunity at that safety car coming in, and you really gave the Bentley no other choice.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I was happy that there was a safety car, and then I saw he was a bit struggling on the first push laps. So yeah, I tried to get my moment, and he made a small mistake going into 6. And I went for it. Luckily, he gave me space, and it went well. I mean, it was also nice to see that my teammate got through as well in the next corner. So it's a very nice 1-2 for WRT.
Absolutely. The Audi really seemed to have the pace throughout the session. Charles, you've been quick all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, qualifying was not bad. Not exactly what we wanted, but it was still fine. Then, the poor start, lost one position, then I gained it again when I overtook Lucas in turn 8. Pace was good. Then, I was behind the teammate, so no risk. We had the guys in the pit stop did an amazing job. I think his out lap and my in lap was pretty good also. We got P2, and safety car helped. So yeah, really pleased with the result.
A fantastic weekend all round for the WRT team. Congratulations, well done, boys.
Thank you.
Of course, this is a 2020 style podium with social distancing. It's driver pairings at a time. Stand in the paddock, not on the steps of the podium any longer. We will get used to it, and for Team WRT, delight as well. The sun is shining over the circuit Marco Simoncelli for the second of our 3, just reiterate it, 3 sprint races here. Now, let's look at the points from the global GT World Challenge with the points accumulated across the various continents. Ferrari, Mercedes in the mix. There's the Mercedes Challenger as well. 3 manufacturers. Lamborghini also going for the honours in 2020. We'll see how they hang at the end of the year, but points accumulated in the American races, European races, and hopefully later in the season the Asian series as well. But Mercedes galloping clear at the moment, Ferrari keeping them honest, but Lamborghini, they've qualified quite well here. Let's see if they can start to make inroads.
But here they are, formation lap into turn 16, waiting for the lights. They're red, you can see.
Is Marcello going to get it correct from the right-hand side of the track? His nose is in front, and the lights are green. It looks very good indeed. A gain from about 5th place, but Marcello's got it nailed down into turn 1. Lamborghini's been a little bit out-muscled to the outside of turn 1. Will it be in position? No, it's still in 4th place. Going for 3rd up the inside of Maro Engel, but will it still be there around the outside at turn 3? Probably not, but what is indisputable is the fact the pole man is at the front when you go into turn number 4. Job done, and in behind him, Kelvin van der Linde, nice, safe and tidy, and unfortunately one of the Sansalot cars, that's Christopher Haase, getting shoved a little bit wide, and the person who's gained is Nelson Panciatici in the green metallic Bentley's gained a place or 2, invaluable here.
Albert Costa trying to find a way around Maro Engel on the grass, hitting the side of the Mercedes, literally a hip and shoulder. That was more than that was almost GBH, I would have said.
That was hip, shoulder and handbag, one feels.
I mean, Costa was very aggressive on those opening 3 corners and finally made it stick, but again the Mercedes trying to come back around the outside through turn 9 into turn 10, but in danger and opening up the inside to let one of the Audis that's following behind. So a lot of aggression on the opening lap. You can see the Mercedes and the Lamborghini nose to tail coming through turns 12 on this dog leg straight down into the braking zone into turn 13, and then try and stay on track. Often not the case there, as the area is always, drivers tend to find themselves drifting out. But a good start for Marciello, but Kelvin van der Linde is going to keep him honest.
Certainly is, and it was Dries van Tor who was running in 5th place. Amazing rear shots looking back at the Hout Racing team. Look how busy it is for Eddie Cheever. Cars left, right and centre around him. That's what it's like at MISANO in the middle order.
Yeah, it's the worst part of the racetrack, worst part of the field to be right in the middle. These are the sort of 5th row down towards the tail of the field. No difference in terms of performance. You can see Cheever being really sort of muscled out of turning into the apex of turn 6 by the sister Ferrari. Oh, look, dive down the inside. Matteo Drudi trying to take that position away. Almost a mirror of what happened last night when Dries van Thor did that on Pantanici in the Bentley. So almost getting caught out by almost a mirror of what occurred. Well, that's the car that was involved last night, the Bentley, and Dries van Thor. Now Drudi all over the back of Dries van Thor. Really, this is going to be interesting coming down into turns 13 and 14. Drudi goes one way, trying to force the issue on the outside. Can he get ahead? It's going to be two Audis in the bank or in the ditch or wherever, and they've managed to get through clear. I can't believe it. But look up the inside. I mean, he's got contact ultimately. Now that's going to get looked at because there was clearly Drudi had two wheels on the inside. He would say I was taking avoiding action. Dries van Thor would say I was taking my line.
But look at the advantage he's gained.
No, and now Dries van Thor has been biffed, or however you want to describe it. The Audi Christopher Haase comes around. The boys are out of control.
It's Sunday morning, no time on the Sabbath, but this is great racing, full of incident. Dries van Thor must feel as though he's got a target drawn in his front
track limits have been thrown out of the window.
And so Nelson Pantanici, a few seconds ago, he thought he was gaining positions. Now he's been shuffled right back down. This is so entertaining. Now let's take a look at some of the contact we saw a handful of laps ago. That's Matteo Drudi going up the inside, not once but twice, of Dries van Thor. The Bentley then gets monstered when we get up a few corners later to turn 1, diving up the inside of Dries van Thor. Poor Dries, punch bag Van Thor today, pushed wide. He then cuts the corner. No profit gained to dive back into position. Fortunately, Benjamin Ites has had a big shot. Is that at turn 13? I can't quite see.
There's just so much dust. So that car well and truly in the tire bales. There's a lot of heavy front end damage to the Mercedes. That's gone off pretty quickly. So there's a contact from the Lexus behind. Yes, it was.
Well, that's very unfortunate. The Lexus recovering, having started from the pits in the hands of Thomas Neubauer. And for the second race running, it's unfortunately not a nice welcome to Europe for this Chilean. He got hit yesterday and spun round. He got hit today and spun round. Today was a much bigger impact, and good to see him walking freely, unencumbered. But that was very unfortunate there for Benjamin Ites.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on any further investigations. We know the safety car is in at the end of this lap. You can see the message from race control large on the screen.
The safety car will pull away. Raffaele Marciello will slow the field down, as he is doing now at turn 14. When he comes out of 14, he might decide to go, or he might wait until he gets through turn 15. Playing cat and mouse. He's gone. He's off and running.
Slow it down, bang, off he goes. Great move there from Raffaele Marciello. Very tricky for anyone to make a move down into turn 1. You'd need a monster exit out of the final corner. Staying very sensible, all of them, trying to get whatever little toe they can, but Marciello's safe in the lead. He's got about a 3 car length advantage. The Lamborghini having a little look to turn 1 and then tucking in behind Kelvin van der Linde. Everyone else playing line astern, not taking the big moves. I expected something from Matteo Drudi. He might be waiting until we get onto the approach at turn number 8. The Italian really likes to attack, and Mauro Engel in that orange Mercedes is his target, that is for sure. Drive-through penalty for car 15 for causing a collision. We saw the collision. That was poor old Benjamin Ites being taken for a spin. So for the car that could have won yesterday, came to a halt. He's not going to win today. He's got a drive-through penalty. Aurélien Panis, the guilty party.
Kelvin van der Linde. And then they're all diving into the pit lane because the pit lane now is open. So that is the beginning of what will be a very busy pit lane, but the leading group of cars, they're all staying on track.
That's true. He was the highest place of the cars that came into the pits was the HRT Mercedes. But the first three, Marciello, van der Linde and Albert Costa, continued on their way. It does mean the pit lane will be empty when they come round to it, whenever they so choose to do so. Doesn't have to be next time around.
So there's the drive-through, I think.
Correct.
That's the
Aurélien Panis. That is not a regular pit stop.
So they've got to then come back in again and do their driver change. So they're effectively out of it. Bentley, Jules Gounon, good stop from the Bentley team, just trying, almost managed to get alongside the Audi as they enter this very narrow, and it's a contentious pit lane exit here.
So into the pit lane comes the race leader. Albert Costa continues around. He is the new leader for the ML Frey team because Raffaele Marciello has decided he's going to give a go to his teammate, his Russian teammate, Timo Boguslawski. Eddie Cheever III is also in. Chris Froggatt will take over the car that's leading the Pro-Am class. Well, we've got the order fairly much as it was before
Where is this? What is going on? Second place Audi, way off the racetrack. Tamita-san, you needed a passport to come back in, you're that far off. The gap between first and second has reduced on that last lap. So they, having had that fundamental error going way off track, Tamita-san has clawed back. He lost effectively a second and a bit. It was up to 2.5 seconds. Now the gap is down to 2 seconds.
And now Rouget saw an opportunity. The Lamborghini ran a little bit wide. He closed onto the tail remarkably quickly. Yeah, Bogoslawski still hasn't got the body language of someone who's defending his position. He's still holding his line, but another tenth or two gained by the chasing Tomita will force him to take a different line, and that has been gained. It's right down to half a car length, and a far better exit from 14. I blow you, you blow me, and a little bit of bodywork rubbing, but always the the Mercedes driver held the upper hand there. He had the right position.
Look, again, closes right up into turn 13, into 14. I mean, has to pull over. Oh, and it hits the back of the Mercedes. And that's because Bogoslawski slowed down more than Tamita-san reckoned was going to happen. Now, again, trying to go around the long way around the outside. This time, thinks the wiser of it. But Mercedes slowed down a lot in turn 14. Caught Tamita-san off guard, and that puts Lukas Stolz back in this race. Very much a challenger now to take the victory.
Do you look forward? Do you look back into turn 1? It's still the Mercedes front. Is there a bit more rubbing there? Not quite. Tamita-san very close indeed. Lukas Stolz in third place. In turn, being pushed by Charles Wirtz, who's got Arthur Rouget almost propelling him round the corner at turn 2.
So Stolz goes the long way round, takes the wide way into turn 4. Up the
Rouget
inside.
Up the inside for 4th. Up the inside of Charles Wirtz.
Good move. Caught Charles Wirtz totally unawares. There was a car width gap, and Rouget didn't need to be invited twice. Here we go, back again, the first 3 cars. Lukas Stolz says, oh, the Audi's gone way off. What happened there? Just suddenly the car turning left and then turned sharp, right? It was as if something, and then the back end snapped into oversteer. Don't know what it was, but wow, did it ever go quickly.
And I'm just starting to think that Lukas Stolz has got enough in his kit bag to hold on to that second place, but not enough to be able to get close enough to ASP's race leader, Timo Bogoslawski, the young Russian, who I did fear for him staying in the lead of the race. I thought he'd be caught, but he got caught, but they're not close enough to make a move.
On board with the leading Mercedes-Benz, Timo Bogoslawski has done everything to date without the commentator's curse. It's going to be victory for the Russian and the Italian.
It might even do that oddest of things, bring a smile to the face of the incredibly laconic Raffaele Marciello. He'll be delighted with that. The car started down in the bottom half of the middle order yesterday, but today it started in a pole, and it has come through to victory. A Mercedes 1-2 with Lukas Stolz in second place. Arthur Rouget, well, he's laid down a marker, and in fact he got to the finish just ahead of last year's young star Charles Wirtz, but Charles Wirtz took a victory last night. But for Rouget, he's really put his name on the map in third place. There is Bogoslawski's name at the top of the chart. Raffaele Marciello, his teammate, started from pole, but Timo Bogoslawski took it over in the lead and kept it there. Good job, 0.3 of a second clear of Maro Engel and Lukas Stolz, a rock-solid Mercedes lineup, so big credit there for Timo Bogoslawski. Arthur Rouget built on the work of Christopher Haase and then added his own mix and came through to third place, top Audi finisher, just ahead of Charles Wirtz, who took victory last night with Dries van Tor, so the all-Belgian pairing still piling the points in. But let's go down, and the man who brought the car to the checkered flag first, Timo Bogoslawski, down in the paddock with Gemma.
Timo, a fantastic drive, very defensive in the end. You know, you had a lot of pressure behind you.
Yeah, it was tough. At the beginning, it was my pace was okay because I have the new tires. But at the end of my next part of the race, it was tough because I defend a lot from the Audi. We have the contact at the back, and yeah, when the Audi changed the position with the Mercedes, after I don't have any pressure, and I just need to finish it in the race. So I'm really happy. P1 in my first round is really nice.
Fantastic result. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
12,500 euros. He's let them have that for the photo, but he'll be taking that back to the transporter. So for ACA ASP, we'll have the national anthem, the Marseillaise. So 2 fantastic races so far this weekend, and we're treating you with a hat-trick, the third race for the first time at a sprint round of the GT World Challenge Europe. Best place to start is from pole position. and the Tech One Racing Lexus hasn't won yet. We're going to hear from Aurélien Panis. Maybe now is the moment.
Aurélien, it's been a difficult weekend for you guys, slightly challenging in so many different ways, but certainly the car has had pace, proven that from the fact that you're down here on pole.
Yeah, for sure. The two first race was a bit unlucky, but we have a really good car, a really good team. They work a lot during all the night to fix the engine. So now Thomas did an amazing job in quali. We are again in pole position for this last race. So we will try to do a clean race and to score a good point. It will be important for us.
Okay, well, have a great race. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Bye-bye.
This is the GT World Challenge, fought around the world by 3 marks. Ferrari, Mercedes and Lamborghini, with the points tally having just been readjusted because there was a race at Sonoma in California at the start of this weekend. So when we last looked, it was Lamborghini bringing up the rear of the 3, hoping to gather points. The car's quite near the front of the grid this afternoon, but let's take a look at the tally. And it's still Mercedes leading from Ferrari, and the raging bull of Lamborghini needs to get a move on. They're down in 3rd place. Okay, the start is upon us. The Lexus on the outside, the front row, Thomas Neubauer. Young Tommaso Mosca stepping up to GT racing this season, impressed so far, and he's on the front row. How much more competition does he want around him? The pressure, the lights have gone to green. Very tidy start indeed. The Bentley already trying to make a charge from the 4th row, being edged out, but the pole starter, Thomas Neubauer, who's got young Arthur Rougier tucking in behind. But 2nd place in the hands of Tommaso Mosca, that famous sweep around the outside at turn 1 and gets across the track. Hold down 2nd position, a bit of bodywork when flying. A front splitter down at turn number 2, but it's tidy at the front, and the Lamborghini's trying to gain position, almost knocking each other out of the way, and the ERs and the HRT Mercedes making a brilliant start for Lucas Stoltz. He's gained about 3 places. That's the orange car with the black wings.
Neubauer used and consolidated the benefit of being on pole position, but challenged all the way through those opening corners by Tommaso Mosca in the Audi. Look at the Bentley making its way up through as well.
Yeah, but that was on the grass before they got to turn 7. The track kinks on that infield straight, and the Lamborghinis weren't letting him pass, and certainly Jules Gounon kind of trying to pick up position. Great view back to Lucas Stoltz, who made that great start. He's tucked in. We're looking back from the Bentley, trying to go up the inside of the Bentley now.
Nowhere for Gounon to go. He's been forced out onto the outside of the circuit. That's the dirty part of the racetrack, side by side now with the number 4 Mercedes. So, Lucas Stoltz, side by side. Jules Gounon just gets an edge, gets the nose in front, coming down into turn 13, slams the door on the Mercedes. So is consolidated that position, but 2 Lamborghinis directly ahead. And you can see what's happened. Gounon's just been backed up by the 2 Lamborghinis. His pace has been checked.
It's busy out there, John, isn't it, at the end of the opening lap, but not too busy for Thomas Neubauer. That great start. Tommaso Mosca managed to stick in 2nd place. Arthur Rougier staying in 3rd. Very, very close indeed, but already you can see the Lexus starting to stretch its legs. Tommaso Mosca hanging on to 2nd place. Rougier's just lost a position. He's back in 4th. Charles Vitz goes 3rd. Oh, there's going to be contact surely. The Bentley and the 2nd of the Lamborghinis. No, that's the 1st. That's Alto's Lamborghini.
And there's the Bentley. It got involved. There was contact. I didn't know whether there was damage to the left front of the Bentley. It looked to me as if maybe that left front wheel, something had happened in that contact with the Lamborghini. It was an audacious move down the inside to try and take a position away, and it didn't really pay off because the Bentley is, I'm not quite sure, well, it's still ahead of the Lucas Stoltz, so nothing, well, everything ventured but nothing gained.
Yeah, here they are side by side. Oh, Bronco.
Forced the error. He forced the error. He showed his nose up the inside into turn 16. And the reaction was Alto just got it wrong. He ran wide and has given up on 3 positions as a consequence. Now that is what a racing driver is there to do. That is to outthink the competitor you're racing against.
Let's have a look at the replay, John. Talk us through it. Through turn 15 they go.
Look, he's got himself up the inside, but not quite enough. But then Alto just runs too wide, runs over those sausage curbs. The back end of the Lamborghini kicks up in the air. He's got to get out of the throttle. And in the process, those that are on the racetrack, on full power, pass.
Exactly so, 3 places lost. That was quite a moment.
Look at that. Wow. So pressure indeed. The Emil Frey entered Lamborghinis have seen a lot of attention from the 107 Bentley here this afternoon.
Certainly have. Little versus large. That's the view you get when you can look over the roof of the Lamborghini. So easy to see the Bentley, and that was a move that has been coming for a while, but didn't get the braking done. Haha, GT spectacle.
The move was perfect. The execution and the outcome didn't work. Just couldn't slow the car down enough. And Michael Grenier's got the Lamborghini. He knows he's got the speed where it counts. Now looking up the inside into turn 12. Wow. And that was close, and he's got it done. Well done. Jules Gagnon persisted, and he finally has broken through and got the place from the Lamborghini up into 5th place, and that's why you don't give up as a racing driver. Once there's a pit stop window at the earliest opportunity, well, you can't get any earlier than that. Rouge, in fact, one of the other who came in ahead of him, was that 2nd place or not? Came in. Two others have come in.
Mosca came in, so Wirtz is now up into 2nd place. Gagnon up to 3rd. The Bentley has stayed out, but Mosca must have got in with about 1 second after the pit lane. See, I hadn't even got around to saying it.
I thought Rouge was in early, and I saw another car. Wow, that is on the limit. I don't know why they would want to do that.
The car from that group, or just the group behind, I really expected to dive in, did come in, the HRT Mercedes, but it's rather been thwarted if all those cars around him have come in as well. Just to reiterate, Thomas Neubauer has continued in the race. There's the car that's leading Pro-Am. That's Chris Froggatt getting out and Eddie Cheever the 3rd getting in. But Neubauer leading by 2.8 seconds now.
He's in as well. So what they're doing is they've decided they've got to cover as a 2nd place. So everybody's covering everybody else. So those that dived into literally the last second before you could get into the pit lane. So flashing the headlights to say, I'm in the pit lane. Make sure I've got a clean entry and can get square in the pit so the airlines will reach all 4 corners of the car.
If it looks like the yellow-white Audi from Sansalot Racing is out into, I think that could be 2nd place. Just trying to gauge. Tommaso Mosca handed over to Matthias Trudi very early. Looks as though the HRT car has gained loads of ground there because he was running in, correct me, 7th place, I think, before the diving into the pits, and the car that was leading, now in the hands of Aurélien Panis, is out behind it. So those that came in a lap earlier seem to get things very right indeed.
And Maro Engel, who's taken over the number 4 Mercedes, has already in that opening sector recorded the fastest single sector time. Jules Gagnon, having driven the wheels off the Bentley to get it up into position, now it makes his way down the pit lane.
Well, what I can gauge from that is number 32 is now leading the race in the hands of Dries van Tor, by my reckoning. So Team WRT getting it right again. Santalot Racing, good job there for Christopher Haas. But the team that lost out was the team that was 2nd. That's the Tempo Racing in the Audi battle. They've gone back to 4th. Well, it's 3rd overall because, of course, the Lexus is the one that really lost out. It's tumbled way down the order. I'm trying to pick out where it is. It could be as low as 8th place.
Well, I don't know why the pit stop took so long. We were on board with the Bentley. Pantaccini we saw on board last night. So where has the Bentley slotted back in? We need to get the Pantaccini is...
Well, he's ahead of the Lexus, that much we can see.
Technically he's in 5th place because we've now... Everybody has made their pit stops, so the field is Van Thor leading, and that's clear. But on board with Aurélien Panis.
Oh, out very wide at turn 15, Seidler, but he whips back onto the track just before they get to turn 16 and has a relatively tidy, better exit for the chasing 88 Mercedes though, John.
The Lambo's going to go to defensive down the right-hand side, but there's not enough pace in the Mercedes to swing and cut across the front. But now he's got Seidler slightly wrong-footed out of position, both left and right, but it's going to be out of here, turn 3, where he's going to gain the advantage if it's going to happen at all. Yes, it has. He's got the nose alongside the Lamborghini. He's taken away, I would say, the low ground, but watch the Lamborghini is slipping up the inside, almost the double undercut. So, consolidation.
But that was...
Oh, my heart was in my mouth, and I've got a big mouth.
And certainly Kelvin van der Linde can squeak whatever performance is out of the car. Nice and tidy as he follows the Bentley. Might get enough of a pull and have a bit more punch down into turn 8 on the inside. Not this lap, he's 3 car lengths back, but he's getting closer all the time.
I was here in last night's race that Pantaccini opened the door and let Dries van Thor slide through. That was after the restart of a safety car intervention. A little bit cautious on the opening lap. Didn't need to be asked twice. They get up the inside, can force the issue. Well, van der Linde, I thought he had, but there's contact, surely.
But very twitchy there from Pantaccini. Down, coming out of turn 14.
And look at the amount of vertical on the wing, the shake on that rear wing structure. Just gives you an indication just what the... good exit from van der Linde this time out of turn 16. Goes to the right-hand side, not close enough to do anything about it. But again, it's just... Wow, almost overruns into the back of the Bentley. Is there contact or not there? I wasn't sure, just at the right front caught the left rear of the Bentley as they transitioned from left to right. The Bentley pulling over to the left-hand side to take the softer entry line into turn 8. The Audi holding high, dives down the inside. And, well, the Bentley reacted very much to what Kelvin van der Linde did. But the job has finally been done. Audi taking away that position. Watch the Lexus coming up to go round the outside of the bend. Oh, whoa! Big snap oversteer from the Bentley, slams into the right side of the Lexus. Completely innocent party, and wow, that's going to be a full course yellow, one would expect. That's the pressure that came from Kelvin van der Linde, and the frustration of having finally lost that position. Just suddenly the back end snapped, and the overreaction slammed into the right side of the Lexus. So let's look again and see what happened. The turn into the Bentley, on the turn in, just the back end steps out. In fact, it just clobbers the right front of the Lexus, and watch what's going to happen. Watch for Van Thor. He's going to wait. He knows that Christopher Haase is stuck to the back of the, like a bit of fly paper, cannot get much closer. As soon as he senses that the lead Audi is about to go, he will be hard on it. And likewise, in third place, Mattia Drudi will be doing the same thing. So Van Thor's gone, Haase's gone, Drudi's gone. Look at Drudi ducking one way and the other, trying to get temperature into the tires before they come into turn 16. And trying to pull away from the Maro Engel in the Mercedes. Now weaving around just to get those tire temperatures and pressures back up.
Haase really showed his experience there. He wasn't the one predicting the start, but he sort of guessed it right. And actually only into turn 1 did he lose a bit of ground, but he was right on the tail of race leader Dries Van Tor. But Van Tor, the Belgian, has done what he needs to do. Raffaele Marciello in 6th place. We're riding on board with him now. He's looking up the inside of Kelvin van der Linde, who hasn't had enough fun in this race as yet and is about to have a challenge from behind. He was the hunter trying to get past Panciatici, and of course we saw what happened after that incident. We've cleared up the debris from that, and now the black Audi number 31 is being pushed very hard by Rafa Marciello in the 88 Mercedes.
And I think in the lead, Van Thor has done sufficient to draw himself ahead of Christopher Haase, not to be concerned where that yellow Audi is in the mirrors.
But as we speak, it looks like Dries Van Tor is just pulling away slightly further clear out of turn 6. A really good run onto the infield straight. He's safe for now, surely.
Yes, I would say, other than if it's something unforeseen, and I can't see anything that's unforeseen. He's got nobody ahead of him to concern, and he hasn't got Christopher Haase breathing all over the rear of his car, so he's not going to be challenged from behind. It's other than some unforeseen, something on the track, or he makes an error, which I don't anticipate. So the top 3 are going to finish in the order that we see now. What's going to happen 4th, 5th and 6th? Well, that's, I think, still up for the bids. But it looks to me as if 4th place is pretty much consolidated by Luca Stolz, Kelvin van der Linde, and then rounding out the top 6, Raffaele Marciello.
Yeah, and in fact, John, I've just taken a really close look. There is missing bodywork on the right rear corner of the 55 Audi. Got clouted at the first corner at the start of the race. In the hands of the second drivers now, so it's not their faults. But Dries Van Tor, surely now, as he goes through 14 into 15 and up to 16, the final corner, will make it 2 wins from 2 outings here at Misano. Not a bad return from the other, 4th place as well. That's a huge points haul for him and his teammate Charles Weert. So a Audi 1, 2, 3, a Mercedes in 4th, a Mercedes in 6th, and in between them, the 4th of the Audis. Well, let's take a look at the overall order at the end. Charles Weert, who started the race, Dries Van Tor, who brought it home. 0.7 of a second. Of course, we had that late race safety car period. Arthur Rougier started well. Christopher Haase finished very well. 2nd place for them in their Audi from Sansalot Racing. And Tommaso Mosca, a new name on the block. Very impressive. Mattia Drudi, we know he's quick. 3 Audis in the top 3 positions. Super close. For Mercedes, they had to make do with 4th place. Luca Stolz and Maro Engel then bring it home. We're going to go down and hear from Dries Van Tor and Charles Weert, because Gemma Scott has caught up with the race winners. What a weekend they've had at Misano.
Dries, Charles, what a weekend. 2 wins out of 3 races. That's the dream, and that race was incredibly exciting, especially at the end there. So much dicing. A tough drive, Dries.
Yeah, I mean, we still had a new set of tires in the pit lane, so we decided to put them on. And yeah, Charles did an amazing job. He made a mega start, better than yesterday. He learns out of the day, so no, very happy. And the car was absolutely amazing. We could really use the new tire, and the guys in the pit lane are absolutely legends. They are so fast, it's unbelievable.
Teamwork is key, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah, exactly. Dries did again an amazing job. Like now we are used to since a couple of years with him. But yeah, as you said, the race has been won in the pits. So a big shout out to all the guys who are working their ass off to really make us the quickest. And yeah, I mean the time they make us gain in the pit is just incredible. So big thanks to them for the car and for the pit stop.
2 times P1. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
But the victors going to the podium, Dries Van Tor and Charles Weerts, and a representative from Belgian Audi Club Team WRT. They take the winner's check as well, but the most important thing for them is the points.